Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi, it's Beaumont from Secrets Exposed. This is the series that takes you up close and personal with world-leading business experts. And our topic for this interview is how to turn adversity into massive success. That coming up in just a moment. My special guest today is highly experienced entrepreneur Barry Bull, and he's going to be talking about how to turn adversity into massive success. He's got an amazing story, and I can't wait for you to meet him and for him to share his secrets to business success. Barry, welcome to our studio.
Good to be with you, Dale.
So tell us a little bit about where your entrepreneurial journey began. When did you become an entrepreneur?
Well, it all began with a song when I was a teenager. I've always loved music, and when I heard the Shadows play Apache on their Fender guitar, it just captured me. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. It was like a door opened and the rest of my life was waiting on the other side. So I went and bought a Fender guitar. It cost a lot of money in those days. I had to import it. And then I formed a band. And I knew that I wanted a path in music, and so I played in a band for about 10 years. I got discovered and signed to a record company. It wasn't a recording contract, my band wasn't that good. It was an employment contract to work for one of the biggest record companies on the planet, CBS Records, who are now Sony Music.
Right.
And I opened the very first branch in Queensland for CBS Records in 1969. Put my guitar in a case where it stayed for the next 40 years. And pursued this love of music. Within a few years, I was transferred to Sydney and I became Director of Marketing for CBS Australia. And that was the job that took me around the world and just put me face to face with global celebrities and superstars. It was fantastic for a young guy to be in the middle of the hub of where music was made and to work with music makers. But after about 10 years, I began to burn out. I had a young family. I wasn't balancing my business values with my family values very well. So in 1981, after a feeling that if I could do it for CBS, I could do it for myself, and after giving rock and roll the best years of my life, I've loved that line, I resigned from CBS and I returned to Brisbane where I grew up, and I bought a small music store in the north side of Brisbane called Toombul Music. And that was when my independent career began of owning my own business.
So that was 35 years ago, so a few decades there in terms of business. Now tell us a bit about, you said the passion was really in music, and so you knew that it was going to be a business in that space.
Well, I didn't have any money when I bought the business. Like most small business people, they start out with a vision. This is what I love. How can I share this passion of music with others? And being a retailer, it was a wonderful conduit to be able to do that. So I really needed to do something special because I didn't have any marketing money, and because I worked with the celebrities at CBS with a record company, I understood how they thought. And there's a mechanism in the music industry, Dale, called the charts. And in every industry, you have to understand the triggers that drive that industry. And in the music industry, it's the chart. Even to this day, every record company, every artist, every producer, they're all trying to have a #1 on the ARIA charts, as you know. And that tradition has existed all those years. And I wondered if I could give these celebrities, artists, a chart at my store by selling enough product to be able to drive enough sales to be of value to them in the chart. So I worked on that for quite a while. It took me quite a while, but presenting celebrities on the centre stage became my point of difference. It just was the edge that I needed. So all of a sudden, these celebrities started to come and do promotions with me. It was great for the cash register because we sold a lot of product, but it was a win-win for everybody. It was great for the artist because we were able to give them a chart. It was great for the shopping centre owner because we packed their shopping centre. And it's slowly over the years, it began to make our business famous because we were the first to do this. And here's a short video I'd like to show you of how it worked.
Fantastic. Let's roll to that video right now.
Sir Cliff Richard.
Thanks, Barry, for sharing that video. So I want to ask you now, if you could just summarise that business that you had over nearly 3 decades, what were the 3 biggest factors that led to that business's success?
Well, I had this experience coming from a record company where I was in the comfort zone of corporate culture. So I was paid well, I was looked after, and I had a career asset. But when you go into your own business, that's a different story. So here I am out by myself, on my own, fearful, and not a lot of money. So I had to create a way, find ways to attract customers to us. I was in a suburban shopping centre, and it wasn't an A-grade shopping centre, but it was nevertheless, I wondered how could I bring not only the audience, music lovers of the north side of Brisbane to my store, but Brisbane, how to do it. So I set about finding my niche. So the first thing I did was finding my point of difference, finding my niche. And my niche was to be the conduit between the people who made the music and the people who bought the music. After all, I was a retailer, and that's the basic fundamental of retailing, is how seamlessly you take a product to your customer. Which brings me to the second important point, was creating a memorable experience. When they visited our store, giving them an experience that they would remember for a long time.
How did you do that?
Well, we would, for example, we were a music business. We had all these listening headphones in those days, and people could come in and listen. And I had a young guy came up to me just recently, and he said, "You know what I loved about your store? I was in my school days, and all we kids would leave school and come down to your shop and listen to the new recordings, new songs on your headphones, and you never said no. You always allowed us to do it. And you know what? Over the years, as I got married, I kept coming back to your store. My kids kept going, and so creating a memorable experience. But the most memorable experience of all, of course, was when we presented those celebrities. Because where can you get to meet and greet a superstar like Cliff Richard or Michael Crawford? And we gave them that opportunity because they were able to get in line, meet the celebrity, get a personal autographed copy of the CD, and their photograph taken.
Fantastic.
And
maybe one more?
There's one more, and that was winning awards. I felt that how do I stand out? And the best way for small business to be noticed is win awards. So I set my sights on winning as many retail awards as I could. Now, we were in a Westfield shopping centre, and in those years, Westfield's had an awards program called Retail Awards for Retail Excellence. And over the next 10 years, we went on to win over 30 Westfield awards. We won the National Specialty Retailer Award 3 times, and there were 3,000 retailers in that category. They eventually inducted our business into the Westfield Hall of Fame. Then they presented me with a Westfield Legend Award, and of course what happened was I and our business became famous. And it didn't cost anything. When you win an award, the media gravitate to the accreditation that you've been given. So winning awards was very important to us to get noticed.
Now, I can imagine having had that business for nearly 30 years. Tell me about do you have any memorable stories or a special moment that you might want to share with us?
Well, probably the biggest special moment and the biggest discovery I made was when I realised that no was negotiable. Dale, I hate taking no for an answer because I find that 90% of people give up when they're 10% from achieving their goals, and the word that stops them is no. And I was getting all the no's in the world, trying to get supplier support, money to do advertising and marketing. So I came up with this notion that no is negotiable. And it was when I developed my secret weapon that it really made a difference. Can I show you my secret weapon?
Sure, tell us about it.
My secret weapon is this rubber stamp.
Okay.
And on the end of that rubber stamp are the words, no is negotiable. So when I had a negative given to me, could be by a staff member, it could be by a supplier, it could be by the landlord, I would stamp this rubber stamp all over wherever, their wrist, their forehead, or a fax in those days, or letters of rejection. Yes, Barry, we'd love to participate, but we're out of money. I would stamp this all over that letter of rejection and send it back to them. And this created a reaction. It created a communication. Why? What is this no is negotiable? It was cheeky, it was fun. And you have to have fun in business. But it created communication, Dale. And you've got to have communication to negotiate. And I found that I was, for example, I would say to a supplier in the electronics business, I'm trying to get money to put some money into our Christmas catalogue. And I'd say to Mr. Pioneer or whoever it was, I've got the Harvey Norman catalogue in my right hand and you're in it. And I've got the Retrovision catalogue in my left and you're in it. And you say, no, you won't help me. And yet it was retailers like me who helped develop your brand in the first place. And we would always be able to negotiate a positive out of that. So I trademarked this brand, No Is Negotiable.
Oh, you did?
I started to write books about it because it's so powerful.
Fantastic.
So it's the best message of my career that I could leave with your listeners, your audience, is that the fact that never accept no for an answer, because it's like accepting a response to somebody else's mediocrity. The word to me, no, is so mediocre, and you can break through it. So 90% of people give up when they're 10% from achieving their goals, and the word that stops them is no. And I was able to take that notion and that topic to the conference stage and begin to talk to other retailers about how to break through and achieve the success they need.
Fantastic, great. I'm loving this interview. We've still got more to come. We're speaking with Barry Bull, and we'll take a short break and back in a moment. Welcome back to this interview with Barry Bull. We promised we were going to talk about how to turn adversity into massive success. So we're now going to talk a little bit about that adversity and some of the challenges that Barry faced and how he dealt with them. So Barry, tell us a bit about what happened eventually to the business. And
to continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.